Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, the 16th of November, the 16th of March, 2021. I hope you're all well. I hope you're COVID free. I hope you're healthy and your needs are being met today. Blessings on those that are working in the healthcare field to help save life and to help sustain life and to help comfort those that are sick. Double blessings on those that pick up garbage to keep our places clean and that deliver goods and services for us. Double blessings on those also who are seeking to rescue boys and girls and teenagers and people from sex trade operations, and curses on those that support the sex trade industry, especially child pornography. And finally, double blessings on those that are helping the homeless and are seeking to help house the homeless, provide for the homeless, help the homeless from being homeless. Blessings on the homeless as well. There was a basketball game last night. Our New York Knicks played against the Brooklyn Nets. And it was a tightly contested game. There was no Kevin Durant, but there was also no Mitchell Robinson. And both of those guys would have made it more interesting. The Knicks lost a very tight game. It went down to the wire. And in the beginning of the game, we saw the Nets put up 67 points in the half, which is, an astronomical sum. I mean, 60-point halves, like I mentioned, that's a benchmark. You don't want to give up 60 points in a half. You don't want to give up 30 points in a quarter. But at the same time, I also saw that our Knicks scored 56 points in the half. And so what did that tell me? It told me that the Nets were going to let the Knicks back in the game because the Knicks weren't clicking on all cylinders at that point, and the Nets don't play any defense. And so the Knicks did get back in the game. They got down by as many as like 17 or 18, but they came roaring back. And generally speaking, some of the things we've already learned about our team, we play tough defense. We don't quit. This is one of the blessings about having Tom Thibodeau as our coach. We play tough defense. We don't quit. And not only that, RJ Barrett usually is a guy that you want in the game in the last part of the game. He's a gamer and he's going to come through. And of course, Julius Randle has developed into a legit star in the NBA. All-star, top 25. Definitely, I would put Julius in the top 25 players in the league. So all that came to pass, and we did come back. And we got it to within 3, I think. And there were some questionable calls, but we also missed some shots. So we were down 3. Burks had a wide open corner 3, which he did not connect on. There was a questionable call with Julius at the end trying to take a 3 to tie it. And then there were a lot of questionable calls on Frank Garden, Kyrie Irving, and Pillsbury Doughboy, otherwise known as James Harden. Okay, so going forward, what I saw last night, we can play with the Nets, even when Kevin Durant comes back, as long as we have Mitchell Robinson. Nerlens Noel has a problem guarding DeAndre Jordan, and which is surprising because he doesn't have a problem guarding anyone else. But for some reason, DeAndre Jordan, just had his number, last night, beating him down. The thing is, DeAndre Jordan is really, seriously, he must be like 34, 35. And he was consistently beating Noel down the floor. Now, Noel did have one highlight block. I don't know who it was on. I can't remember who it was on. But it was a rim protection type block that you like to see from Nerlens Noel. But for the most part, it was almost as if, he was treating DeAndre Jordan like DeAndre Jordan was kryptonite. He couldn't do anything. And every time we had Frank out there against either whoever he was guarding, Shamet or Kyrie Irving, they were neutralized, pretty much as you can neutralize a Kyrie Irving. Problem was, of course, Frank. And in the last call, which we saw, Irving basically tripped over his own feet, and they called a foul on Frank. And that was his 6th foul. But this tells us going forward if you get both teams at full strength, it's going to be a barn burner. And I like our chances because the Nets don't play defense. See, defense wins championships. Defense wins games. Okay? But it wins championships in playoff games especially. And the teams these guys came from that won championships, the Cleveland team where Kyrie Irving played, had on that team Tristan Thompson, LeBron James, of course, and guys like Shumpert that played defense, right? And they were able to mask his lack on that end of the floor. James Harden, never won a championship. And why? He never played defense. He can go all kind of off on offense, but he didn't play any defense. Okay? Kevin Durant was playing with Thompson, Green, okay? People that play great defense. Okay? And that's why he got his chip. On this team, the defensive players they had, Karis LeVert, traded. Spencer Dinwiddie, hurt. Jarrett Allen, traded. They got rid of all that defensive play. And their best defender is not DeAndre Jordan. He can't move like he used to. The best defender is the kid that comes off the bench, Claxton. Okay? And, yeah. And so I don't think they're going to come out of the East. I really don't think the Nets are going to come out of the East. I think when it comes to crunch time, to playoff time, all you need is a team that plays decent or good defense against them. You're not going to completely stop the Nets. But the problem is the Nets can't stop anybody. So all you need is a team that plays really good defense on a night in, night out basis and can score a little bit. And that represents a lot of teams in the East. So I don't think they're coming out of the East. And if we play them in the play, if the Knicks, which I think will be in the 6th seed, I think the Knicks will end up in the 6th seed. And if the Knicks end up in the 6th seed, they're going to play the 3rd seed. Now, right now, that might be the Nets, right? I think that might be the Nets. So they would play the 3rd seed in the playoffs if they were to play today. And let me just look at that. I'm just looking at the standings real quick. No, the Bucks are the 3rd seed. And listen, I like my chance against them too. But the Brooklyn Nets are in the 2nd seed. Philly's in the 1st seed. Bucks in the 3rd. Miami in the 4th seed. And then we right now in the 7th seed. So we would play, actually, if it was today, we'd play Brooklyn. And I like our chances. 7-game series, I like our chances because of the defense that the Knicks play. And they're getting better. Okay? So, yeah, I definitely like our chances against Brooklyn. If Brooklyn ever had to play a team, any of those teams, Philly, Milwaukee, the Heat, they can't. I don't think they could beat those teams in a 7-game series because they don't have the defense to do it. They have the offense to do it, but no team wins with just offense. You do not win championships just on the offensive end. I know that gets all the press and all the ink, but you need to be able to play some lockdown defense to win a championship. They can't do it. I'm telling you, I don't even think they're coming out of the East. But we lost to them last night. It's all good. We're going to meet again. And Julius got heated because of that last call. And not only that, the refs were really just messing up all night. But, we have what we need. We were missing Derrick Rose, also. And I think that him and, Mitchell Robinson, Derrick Rose key, and they were missing Kevin Durant. But with what we had last night, with IQ, with Frank, coming off the bench and playing defense on their best offensive players, I think we could play with these guys. We could. And that's what I'm excited about. Yes, we lost the game, but the Knicks are proving that they can play with the upper echelon teams in the NBA. Okay. That's what they're proving. Tonight we're playing Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is number 1 in the East. Now, Philadelphia will be missing Joel Embiid. But they still got a firebomb team, even without Joel Embiid. Not as good as they are with him, obviously, but this is a chance for us to take advantage and win against a very good Philadelphia team. They got a very good team. They don't even start Dwight Howard. They start some other kid I forgot his kid's name, but they start some other kid at the center spot. And then, of course, they got Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, um, you know, what's that boy named Tice or something, Matibel? They got a good team. They got a good squad, man. So what's it? Let me look at them. Now I gotta look them up. They got Batiste Stiebel. They got Tyrese Maxey. They started a guy named Tony Bradley at the center. 23-year-old kid from North Carolina. They got Danny Green, who is Danny Green is not a regular season player. He's a playoff player. He's one of these guys that you'll really take notice of when he's in the playoffs, even at age 33. But, and they got some of you guys' favorites from last year's draft, Isaiah Joe. He's on, but he doesn't get as much PT. But, so, they got a good team, man. They got Ben Simmons. They got Furkan. He's a good shooter. They got Seth Curry. They starting Curry. They start Curry, Simmons, Green, Harris, and Bradley. And so this is not going to be easy, but we can win this game. And so I think the Knicks are going to be hot from last night, especially Julius, to come out and beat these guys tonight. Yes, it's a back-to-back. Yes, it's at Philly. But just looking at it geographically speaking, Philadelphia is not that far from Brooklyn in New York. It's not. I think it's like if you're flying, it's really short. And if you're taking a train even, it's like 3 hours. It's not that bad. So they can fly to Philly from New York in probably less than an hour. And so that's not going to be a big time road trip for the Knicks. It's going to be a hostile environment. I don't know how many fans they're going to allow in Philadelphia, but it's not, what I'm saying to y'all is this is a good situation for us to win. We could win this game. This is a winnable basketball game. And so, again, if you looked at the schedule before, this is a 4-game road trip that started in Milwaukee, at Oklahoma City, at Brooklyn, at Philly. And if I told you the Knicks would go 2-2 in that road trip, you'd be happy with that. So would I. So if they win this game tonight, they would go 2-2 in that road trip. So we're pretty good. And from what I've heard, I don't know, I haven't confirmed it, but I've heard that D Rose might be available for the Thursday game against Orlando. And after tonight, the Knicks have the next 5 out of 6 at home. After tonight, 5 out of 6 at home. So, this is a good stretch for us. If we can win this game tonight, it would set us up pretty good. We have Orlando on Thursday, which is not going to be a cakewalk either. We still, they're a very well coached team over there, and Steve Clifford. So we're going to have to beat them as well. But we got to win this game tonight. We got to win this game tonight. It makes us 2-2 on the road trip. It brings us to 21-20. It keeps us in, it does all kind of good things for us to win this game tonight. So I'm looking for a win from our Knicks. Right now, we're a full game behind Charlotte in the Eastern Conference for the 6th seed. We're a full game behind Charlotte. We need to win. We need to win this game. We're a full game. Charlotte and Boston are tied for the 5th seed, actually. And we're a game and a half behind the Miami Heat, who's at 21 and 18. Now, teams have been on a streak. Philly's won 5 straight. Brooklyn's won 5 straight. Milwaukee's won 4 straight. Miami's won 4 straight. Charlotte has won 4 straight. So these guys have been hot. What's good about that is they've all red hot, and we're still there. We're still here, And so I like our chances. So we should win this game tonight. Let's all support our squad. This is a different team than the Brooklyn team. Philly's a defensive team. They're very tough defensively. And they're efficient offensively with Doc Rivers as their coach, another great coach. This is when you think about it, if you really follow basketball, in the NBA, this is kind of a golden age of coaching. Doc Rivers is a tremendous coach. Budenholzer is a tremendous coach. You in the Eastern Conference even, you have Eric Spoelstra. You got Brad Stevens, Jay Barrero, Tom Thibodeau. Now you got Nate McMillan coaching in Atlanta. You got Billy Donovan in Chicago. And I forgot the guy's name in Indiana, but he's good. And then Nurse is a good coach. There's a lot of good coaches. And then, of course, Steve Clifford, Cheney, top to bottom, in Eastern Conference got a lot of good coaches, really good coaches. And then, of course, in your Western Conference, you got the Utah Jazz coach. I forgot his name, but he's a good coach also. Denver Nuggets, Mike Malone, great coach. The Portland Trailblazers coach, great coach. Of course, there's Greg Popovich and Matt Barnes, and then of course Steve Kerr. You have a lot of really good coaches in the NBA right now. A lot of really good coaches. So this is kind of a golden age of coaching. These guys really know. A lot of these guys know what they're doing. Some of these guys are new, and some of them I'm not as high on. Like I'm not as high on Bill Walton's son, Luke Walton. I'm not as high on him as other people are. Not as high on him, but for the most part, and I don't the Timberwolves coach has got to prove itself. But for the most part, you got a lot of really good coaches, and pretty much that's at this point. A lot of times, that's what separates teams, the value of the coaching. So that's very big for us, Tom Thibodeau and that crew. Is very big for where we are right now. So tonight, Philadelphia, let's win this game in Philly, and then we got a nice 5 out of 6 at home. The only away game we have, and after tonight, is at Milwaukee again. So that's kind of like a chance for us to avenge. Actually, we're 1-1 against the Bucks. Even though we got beat badly this last time, we beat them badly earlier in the season. I think that next one is going to be a barn burner, and you can expect. I'm pretty sure you're going to expect to see both Derrick Rose and Mitchell Robinson available, for that next Milwaukee Bucks game. So, yeah, there's that. So tonight, let's root on our squad. I don't even know who's going to start. Derrick Rose is not available. They started IQ at the point last night. They'll probably start him again. He did pretty well. I mean, I was frustrated watching him trying to guard Harden and Irving, but I gotta be real. These are two of the hardest guys to defend in basketball in the world. I mean, as far as the guards. James Harden and Pillsbury Doughboy got offensive game. I mean, he's former MVP, and of course Irving is tough, man, very very tough. So I can't expect a rookie, to come in and lock down guys like that. That's why you needed Frank out there, he did a great job on them. But you can't expect a rookie to do that, So, but he held his own. He did as good as he can. I mean, he didn't. but offensively, our boy Quick did what he does, man. I think he scored like 25 last night, somewhere in that vicinity. He did what he does. He did his thing, man. And that's what we want. That's all you can ask for. As a rookie, he came out and did his thing. What did he have? IQ had 21. He had 21 last night. RJ 23, 33 for Julius, 19 for Bullock, 12 for Burks stuck up the joint last night. Frank didn't score, fouled out, but you saw, if you're watching the game, he had the cuffs on, and whoever he was guarding, whether it was Irving or Harden. So yeah, and that's what you want from him, at this point. So Irving ended up with 34, Harden with 21. But yeah. That most of the time it wasn't when Frank was guarding him. And then when Frank was in the game, he was also guarding Shamet. They had him all over the place, trying to guard everybody. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, yeah, let's just hope our team wins tonight against Philly. This is a big game for us. This really could start stuff off for us right. All right? Be safe out there. Shalom. We'll talk to y'all after the Philly game.